In this lecture, we will discuss about what is near and foreign interference. So in the case of non-cochannel interference, we have seen there are two types mainly. There's adjacent channel and neighboring channel interference. So the cause for the non-cochannel interference, the reduction, how can we reduce is by the filter assignment, filter assignment, and what is that we have seen here. Channel assignment, filter characteristics, and reduction of near and foreign interference. So already we have discussed channel assignment and how to design a filter. So now we will see how to reduce the near and foreign interference, to reduce the non-cochannel interference. First of all, we will see what is a near and foreign interference. So coming to in one cell case, we can see here, this is the one cell case. Here only one cell boundary we are taking. Cell boundary is nothing but the coverage area up to which the mobile can receive the signal strength. So because motor vehicles in a given cell are usually moving, some mobile units are close to the cell site and some are far away from the cell site. The close-in mobile unit has a strong signal because it will be very close to the cell site, and that causes the adjacent channel interference. As you see in the figure, you can see the mobile unit A is close to the cell site, is at a distance of small d1, and as it is very close, it will cause a strong signal. So in this situation, near and foreign interference can occur only at the reception point in the cell site. So if we separate the channels with a bandwidth of 5B, it is needed for two adjacent channels in a cell to avoid the non-cochannel interference in order to avoid the near and foreign interference also. So it is then implied that a minimum separation of 5B is required between adjacent channel used within one cell. So here when we are assigning the frequency within the cell, there is a requirement that the adjacent channel must be separated with a bandwidth of 5B. This is the case of one cell. So next coming to the, because the total frequency channels are distributed in a set of n cells, each cell only has 1 by n of the total frequency channels. So if we denote F1, F2, F3, F4 are the sets of frequencies channels assigned in their corresponding cells C1, C2, C3, C4. The issue here is how we can construct a good frequency management chart to assign these n sets of frequency channels properly, and thus to avoid the problems such as near and foreign interference, adjacent channel interference, and neighboring channel interference. So the cells of two systems addresses how cellular system engineering solves the problem in two different systems. We will see here in this figure, you can see there are two systems. That is two system cell. This is one system and this is the another system, that is cell boundary of system A and cell boundary of, this is the cell boundary of system B, this is the cell boundary of system A. You can see here we are calling this as cell site A, and here this we are calling as cell site B. You can see the mobile here, the mobile A is very close to the cell site B and it is far away from its own cell site A. Same thing, same case, the mobile unit B, which is far away from its own cell site B and it is nearer to the cell site A. This type of situation will cause the near and foreign interference. We will see here. Adjacent channel interference can occur between two systems in a duopoly market system. What is this duopoly market system? Is that two different persons are handling the channels. So it can occur between two systems, because if it is only one system means they will follow one criteria, and that is all whatever we discussed, they will maintain the filter characteristics of 6 dB and 24 dB fall off, and the channel assignment they will look after at minimum 10 channels are away from that, and the bandwidth will be 5B bandwidth. All these precautions they will take while designing a system. But when coming to the duopoly market system, there are different market system. There may be chance of deviating the while designing the system. So better coordination should be there among these duopoly market systems. Then only we can avoid the adjacent channel interference. In this situation, adjacent channel interference can occur at both the cell site and also the mobile unit. So for instance, mobile unit A can be located at the boundary of its, as I shown, its own cell site, cell A in system A, but very close to cell B of system B. As I have shown here, you can see the mobile unit B is far away from its own cell site and it is close to the other cell site. Other system, it is very close. Same situation with the mobile unit A. It is far away from the its own cell site A, and it is close to the other system or cell site B. This is the situation we are talking about. So the other system would occur if mobile unit B were at the boundary of cell B of system B, but very close to cell A of the system A. So what I have shown in the figure. So following the definition of near and far end interference, the solid arrow that is here indicates the interference may occur at the cell site A. And the dotted arrow indicates the interference may occur at mobile unit A. You can see here. Here, the solid arrow indicates the interference due to the cell site, and the dotted arrow indicates the interference due to the mobile unit. Okay, and this is the interference caused due to the cell site, and here it is the interference caused due to the mobile unit. So the dotted arrow indicates the interference may occur at the mobile unit, and solid arrow indicates the interference may occur at the cell site. So of course the same interference will be introduced by the cell site B and mobile unit B. Thus, the frequency channels of both cells of the two systems must be coordinated in the neighborhood of the two system frequency band. There should be a proper coordinates to avoid this type of interference. This phenomena causes a great concern as indicated in the additional frequency spectrum allocation charts. So here this is the frequency spectrum allocation with new additional frequency spectrum. You can see A dash and B dash is the additional spectrum interferences, and you can see a cluster 1 and cluster 2. This is the reverse channel, this is the forward channels. You can see there is a 10 channels difference is there. A dash, A, B, 825, 835, 845, again here 894, 890, 880, 870. They are maintaining the 10 channel bandwidth distance away from the each channels. So the two causes of near and far interference of concern here are interference caused on the setup channels and interference caused on the voice channels. So voice channels and setup channels. The two systems try to avoid using the neighborhood of the setup channels. So if you follow this assignment of the spectrum allocation, so they can avoid the interference caused by setup and voice channels. So the channel separation can be based on two assumptions. That is, received interference at the mobile unit and at the cell site. So the mobile unit is located away from its own cell site, but only 0.25 miles away from the cell site of another system. So at this time only there is an interference at the mobile unit. When it is away from its own cell site and nearer to the other cell site, it will cause the received interference on the mobile unit. At the same time, received interference the cell site is caused. The cell site is located 10 miles away from its mobile unit, but only 0.25 miles away from the mobile unit of another system. So these are the causes of interference of the cell site and mobile unit. So the two systems operators do not agree to coordinate their use of frequency channels, and some of the cell sites of system are at coverage boundaries of the cell system of system A, as I shown in the below figure. Then the two groups of frequencies must not be used if interference has to be avoided. So if the two systems coordinate their use of frequency channels, adjacent channels in the two clusters can be used with no interference. There should be coordinates in the duopolar market system when they are using the two cell systems. So these observations regarding adjacent channel interference lead to conclude that the existence of two systems having all co-location cell sets in a city is desirable, since near end and far end interference might be easy to control or might not occur if frequency channel use is coordinate. So the usage of frequency and the maintenance of channel bandwidth and separation maintenance filter characteristic design, if all these steps they are taking, there is no need of there will be no problem of near and far end interference, and adjacent channel interference will be reduced. Thank you.